Okay, hello everyone. Welcome. Hopefully my screen loads. If not, we'll just try this again. But welcome, happy Friday. I hope that you guys are having a good day so far. So today, what we're going to do, we're going to do a bit of reading. So today is primarily just a reading day. And so how that'll look, I'll be reading over the modern versions of the texts. So if you don't want to read with me, then you don't have to. But, I mean, I'll be stopping along the way and kind of explaining things and trying to make it entertaining. So this is probably as good a option for you as any. So we're going to be finishing Act 3 and starting Act 4 by looking at the first scene. And then over the weekend, you have a couple of questions that I would like you to think about, specifically relating to the themes that we find in Romeo and Juliet. And I'll explain those when we get there. But it's some action-packed chapters, starting with Wednesday, where Mercutio gets killed and Tybalt gets killed and Romeo gets exiled. Definitely got a lot more intense really quickly over the course of just a few scenes. So your student learning objective for today, students will analyze themes of Romeo and Juliet and summarize the escape plan hatched by Juliet and Friar Lawrence as they continue to read throughout the play. So, your bell ringer for today, have you ever had a close friend or family member move far away? So I know I have, and what I want to know is if you guys have, how did it make you feel? Like what did you do when they moved? Did you stay in contact with them? Did you find a new friend? Did you develop another friendship? How did that impact you? With the whole idea of this being, how would Juliet and Romeo feel after like they just got married and now one of them is like exiled and has to move away? It's kind of a big deal. So please take a second to answer that, and then of course that will go for your bell ringer grade for this week. Okay, so a couple of questions relating to the reading that you were supposed to finish on Wednesday night and yesterday, which was Thursday. So in class, we read through Act 3, Scene 1, where Mercutio and Tybalt fought. Tybalt kills Mercutio, and Romeo gets super angry, and then he kills Tybalt. The prince, so he runs away. The prince comes in, asks like, okay, how did all these people die? Benvolio explains it. So Romeo doesn't get killed, but he is exiled, which is a problem because his new wife is still in the city. So he can't return under the pain of death. So your homework was to read Act 3, Scene 2 and Act 3, Scene 3, where Juliet and the nurse talk for a bit, and the nurse breaks the bad news to Juliet, and then in the third scene, the friar and Romeo have a conversation about what to do. So your first question, how does Juliet react when she finds out that Romeo has killed Tybalt? Well, initially, it's just like a big confusing mess because the nurse is terrible about not specifying who she's talking about. So the first thing that Juliet hears from the nurse is, oh, it's a terrible day. He's dead. Juliet's like, what? Like, you're saying Romeo's dead? Oh, I saw the sword strike through his manly breast. Why? Like, who? And then eventually she figures out that Romeo killed Tybalt. And at first she's really angry, but then she turns around and thinks, oh, why am I angry? That's my husband. I should support him. And if he killed Tybalt, there can only be one explanation, that Tybalt was trying to kill him. So I'm not going to cry for Tybalt, but I am going to cry because my husband gets banished. And that might be a little crazy for some of us to imagine, like if our spouse or our boyfriend or girlfriend killed our family. I don't think many of us would react as rationally or as cold as she did. But so she doesn't remain angry for long at all. She immediately goes back to loving Romeo. And then in Act 3, Scene 3, what plan does the friar come up with for Romeo and Juliet on their wedding night? Well, he has the plan that Romeo, you're going to sneak up into her room still. You're going to hang out with her. You're going to get to spend your first night together married. And then tomorrow, you're going to have to sneak off and go to the next city over, Mantua. And you're going to stay there for a couple weeks. I'll break the news that you guys are actually married, and then there will probably be some anger, there will be a lot of confusion, but then people will calm down. They'll see, oh, okay, they are in love, they're good for each other. And then you can rejoin or bring your case to the prince. That'll work. So overall, a pretty good plan. The only problem is, well, there's a lot of problems, as we'll cover today. So today's reading, we are going to start by looking at Act 3, Scene 4. We're going to finish Act 3, and then we're going to go from there. So don't forget that while all of this is happening, all the murder, all the marriage, Paris, poor Paris, he still thinks that he's going to get to marry Juliet. Yeah, so let's see how that works out. So we'll be reading from the modern translation today. I will include that on the top of your assignment for today as well, just in case you want to read it by yourself. Enter Capulet, Lady Capulet, and Paris. Things have turned out so unluckily, sir, that we haven't had time to convince our daughter to marry you. Listen, she loved her cousin Tybalt dearly, and so did I. Well, we were all born to die. It's very late. She won't be coming downstairs tonight. Believe me, if you weren't here visiting me, I would myself have gone to bed an hour ago. These times of pain are bad times for romance. Madam, good night. Give my regards to your daughter. I will, and I'll find out what she thinks about marriage early tomorrow. Tonight she is shut up in her room, alone with her sadness. Sir Paris, I'll make a desperate argument for my child's love. I think she'll do whatever I say. No, I think she'll do all that and more. I have no doubt about it. Wife, visit her in her room before you go to bed. Tell her about my son Paris's love for her. And tell her, listen to me, on Wednesday. Wait, what day is today? It is Monday, my lord. Monday! Aha! Well, Wednesday is too soon. Let it be on Thursday. On Thursday, tell her she'll be married to this noble earl. Will you be ready? Do you think it's a good idea to rush? We shouldn't have too big a celebration. We can invite a friend or two. Listen, because Tybalt was just killed, people might think that we don't care about his memory as our relative if we have too grand a party. Therefore, we'll have about half a dozen friends or so to the wedding, and that's it. What do you think about Thursday? My lord, I wish Thursday or tomorrow. We'll go on home. Thursday it is, then. Visit Juliet before you go to bed. Get her ready, my wife, for this wedding day. Farewell, my lord. Now, I'm off to bed. Oh, my. It's so late that we might as well call it early. Good night. So, this might be a problem in the friar's plans, because he wants the people to he wants Juliet basically to just hang out and Romeo to go away, but there's still the problem that no one knows that they're married. So on top of all of the pressure of exile and murder and running from the law, now you have another bit of pressure. Juliet is scheduled to be married to another man on Thursday, just 3 days away. So there's a whole lot of problems kind of kicking into this. Okay, which leads us to our final scene of Act 3. And we'll see what happens. Called it Disobedient Wretch, and you shall see why. Romeo and Juliet enter above the stage. So a little bit of time has passed. Romeo and Juliet have been together. They've been hanging out all night, and it's the next morning. Are you going? It's still a long time until daybreak. Don't be afraid. That sound you heard was the nightingale, not the lark. Every night the nightingale chirps in that pomegranate tree. Believe me, my love, it was the nightingale. It was the lark. The bird that sings at dawn, not the nightingale. Look, my love. What are those streaks of light in the clouds parting in the east? Night is over, and day is coming. If I want to live, I must go. If I stay, I'll die. Oh, that light is not yet daylight, I know it. It's some meteor coming out of the sun to light your way to Mantua. So stay for a while. You don't have to go yet. Well, let me be captured. Let me be put to death. I am content, if that's the way you want. I'll say the light over here is in morning. I'll say it's the reflection of the moon. I'll say that it doesn't sound, I'll say that sound isn't a lark ringing in the sky. I want to stay more than I want to go. Come, death, and welcome. Juliet wants it this way. How are you, my love? Let's talk. It's not daylight. It is, it is. Get out of here. Be gone, go away. It's the lark that sings so out of tune, making such harsh noise. Some say the lark makes a sweet division between day and night. It's not true, because she separates us. Some say the lark traded its eyes with the toad. Oh, now I wish they had traded voices too, because the lark's voice tears us out of each other's arms, and now there will be men hunting for you. Oh, go away now. I see more and more light. More and more light. More and more pain for us. Madam! Nurse, your mother is coming to your bedroom. Day is broken. Be careful. Watch out. Then the window lets day in, and life goes out the window. Farewell, farewell. Give me one kiss, and I'll go down. They kiss. Romeo drops the ladder and goes down. Are you gone like that, my love, my lord? Yes, my husband, my friend. I must hear from you every day in the hour. In a minute, there are many days. Oh, by this count, I'll be many years older before I see my Romeo again. Farewell. I won't miss any chance to send my love to you. Oh, do you think we'll ever meet again? I have no doubts. All these troubles will give us stories to tell each other later in life. Oh, God. I have a soul that predicts evil things. Now that you are down there, you look like someone dead in the bottom of a tomb. Either my eyesight is failing me, or you look pale. And trust me, my love, you look pale to me too. Sadness takes away our color. Goodbye. Goodbye. Romeo exits. Oh, luck, luck. Everyone says you can't make up your mind. If you change your mind so much, what are you going to do to Romeo, who's so faithful? Change your mind, Luck. I hope maybe then you'll send him back home soon. Hey, daughter, are you awake? Who's that calling? Is that my mother? Isn't she up very late? Or is she up very early? What strange reason could she have for coming here? Lady Capulet enters. What's going on, Juliet? Madam, I'm not well. Oh, will you cry about your cousin's death forever? Are you trying to wash him out of his grave with tears? If you could, you couldn't bring him back to life. So stop crying. A little bit of grief shows a lot of love. But too much grief makes you look stupid. Oh, let me keep weeping for such a great loss. You will feel the loss, but the man you weep for will feel nothing. Oh, feeling the loss like this, I can't help but weep for him forever. Well, girl, you're weeping not for his death as much for the fact that the villain who killed him is still alive. What villain, madam? Oh, that villain, Romeo. Oh, he's far from being a villain. May God pardon him. I do with all my heart, and yet no man could make my heart grieve like he does. That's because the murderer is still alive. Yes, madam, he lies beyond my reach. I wish that no one could avenge my cousin's death except me. Oh, we'll have revenge for it. Don't worry about that. Stop crying. I'll send a man to Mantua, where that exiled rogue is living. Our man will poison Romeo's drink, and Romeo will join Tybalt in death. And then, I hope, you'll be satisfied. I'll never be satisfied with Romeo until I see him dead. Dead is how my poor heart feels when I think about that poor cousin. Madam, If you can find a man to deliver the poison, I'll mix it myself so that Romeo will sleep quietly soon after he drinks it. Oh, how I hate to hear people say his name and not be able to go after him. I want to take the love I had for my cousin and take it out on the body of the man who killed him. So here we go. Just this back and forth. The mom's like, oh, wow, she really is mad at Romeo. And here she's saying, like, man, I want to go see him so I could deliver that poison. When really she's just trying to get out of town so she can hang out with Romeo. Find out the way, and I'll find the right man. But now, I have joyful news for you, girl. And it's good to have joy in such a joyless time. What's the news? Please, tell me. Well, you have a careful father, child. He has arranged a sudden day of joy to end our sadness, a day that you did not expect and that I did not seek out. Madam, tell me quickly, what day is that? Indeed, my child, at St. Peter's Church, early Thursday morning, the gallant, young, and noble gentleman, Count Paris, will happily make you a joyful bride. Now, I swear by St. Peter's Church and Peter too, he will not make me a joyful bride there. This is a strange rush. How can I marry him, this husband, before he comes to court me? Please, tell my father, madam, I won't marry him yet. And when I do marry, I swear it will be Romeo, whom you know I hate, rather than Paris. That's really news. Oh, here comes your father. Tell him so yourself, and see how he takes the news. Capulet and the nurse enter. When the sun sets, the air drizzles dew. But at the death of my brother's son, it rains a downpour. What are you, girl, some kind of fountain? Why are you still crying? Will you cry forever? In one little body, you seem like a ship, the sea and the winds. Your eyes, which I call the sea, flow with tears. The ship is your body, which is sailing on the salt flood of your tears. The winds are your sighs. Your sighs and your tears are raging, and unless you calm down, tears and sighs will overwhelm your body and sink your ship. So, where do things stand, wife? Have you told her our decision? And notice how this really contrasts with what Lord Capulet told Paris earlier. How, oh yeah, I love my daughter. I let her make decisions on her own. Now, he's making decisions for her. Yes, sir, I told her, but she won't agree. She says, thank you, but refuses. I wish the fool were dead and married to her grave. Wait. Hold on, wife. I don't understand. How can this be? She refuses? Isn't she grateful? Isn't she proud of such a match? Doesn't she realize what a blessing this is? Doesn't she realize how unworthy she is of the gentleman we have found to be her bridegroom? I am not proud of what you have found for me, but I am thankful that you have found it. I can never be proud of what I hate, but I can be thankful for something I hate, if it was meant with love. What is this? What is this fuzzy logic? What is this? I hear you say proud, and I thank you, and then no thank you and not proud? You spoiled little girl. You're not really giving me any thanks or showing me any pride. But get yourself ready for Thursday. You're going to St. Peter's Church to marry Paris, and if you don't go on your own, I'll drag you there. You disgust me, you little bug. You worthless girl, you pale face. Shame on you. What are you, crazy? Good, father. I'm begging you on my knees. Be patient and listen to me say just one thing. Forget about you, you worthless girl. You disobedient wretch. I'll tell you what. Go to the church on Thursday or never look me in the face again. Don't say anything. Don't reply. Don't talk back to me. I feel like slapping you. Wife, we never thought ourselves blessed that God only gave us this one child. But now, I see that this one is one too many. We were cursed when we had her. She disgusts me, the little hussy. God in heaven bless her! My lord, you're wrong to berate her like that. And why, wise lady? You shut up, old woman. Go blabber with your gossiping friends. I've said nothing wrong. Oh, for God's sake. Can't I say something? Be quiet, you mumbling fool. Say your serious things at lunch with your gossiping friends. We don't need to hear it. You're getting too angry. God damn it! It makes me mad. Day and night, hour after hour, all the time, at work, at play, alone, in company, my top priority has always been to find her a husband. Now, I've provided a husband from a noble family who is good-looking, young, well-educated. He's full of good qualities. He's the man of any girl's dreams. But this wretched, whimpering fool, like a whining puppet, she looks at this good fortune and answers, I won't get married. I can't fall in love. I'm too young. Please excuse me. Well, if you won't get married, I'll excuse you. Eat wherever you want, but you can no longer live under my roof. Consider that. Think about it. I'm not in the habit of joking. Thursday is coming. Put your hand on your heart and listen to my advice. If you act like my daughter, I'll marry you to my friend. And if you don't act like my daughter, you can beg, starve, and die in the streets. I swear on my soul, I will never take you back or do anything for you. Believe me, think about it. I won't break this promise. Oh, is there no pity in the sky that can see my sadness? Oh, my sweet mother, don't throw me out. Delay this marriage for a month or a week, or if you don't delay, make my wedding bed in the tomb where Tybalt lies. Don't talk to me, because I won't say a word. Do as you please, because I'm done worrying about you. Oh, God. Oh, nurse, how can this be stopped? My husband is alive on earth. My vows of marriage are in heaven. How can I bring those promises back down to earth unless my husband sends them back down to me by dying and going to heaven? Oh, give me comfort, give me advice. Oh, no, no. Why does heaven play tricks on someone as weak as me? What do you say? Don't you have one word of joy? Give me some comfort, nurse. This is what I have to say. Romeo has been banished, and it's a sure thing he will never come back to challenge you. And if he does come back, he'll have to sneak back under cover. And since things are the way they are, I think it best thing to do is marry the Count. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a dishcloth compared to him. Madam, an eagle does not have eyes as green, as quick, and as fair as the eyes of Paris. Curse my very heart, but I think you should be happy in the second marriage, because it's better than your first. Even if it's not better, its first marriage is over. Or if Romeo is as good as Paris, Romeo doesn't live here, so you don't get to enjoy him. Are you speaking from your heart? I speak from my heart and my soul, too. If not, curse them both. Amen. What? Well, you have given me great comfort. Go inside and tell my mother that I'm gone. I made my father angry, so I went to Friar Lawrence's cell to confess and be forgiven. All right, I will. This is a good idea. That damned old lady. Oh, that most wicked fiend. It is a worse sin for her to want me to break my vows or for her to say bad things about my husband after she praised him so many times before. Away with you and your advice, nurse. From now on, I will never tell you what I feel in my heart. I'm going to the friar to find out his solution. And if everything else fails, at least I have the power to take my own life. So as we were saying, it's getting pretty intense. Because now, all that added pressure of Paris wants to marry her still, and if she doesn't marry him, she's kicked out of her house forever. So there's a lot going on. So we are going to read the first scene of Act 4. But before we do that, we're about 24 minutes in. So Take some time, take like 5 minutes, go walk around, check your phone, get a drink, whatever, and then in 5 minutes we will read through the next 2 pages, and then we will continue to read. So I'm going to put this timer on, and then in 5 minutes I'm going to keep reading, and then we'll wrap up this video. If it wants to. Maybe. There we go. Alright, that's super annoying. We don't need that. Alright, stop it. Go away. Alright, well, it's been 5 minutes, so I hope that you enjoy that little break. We're going to read through Scene 1 of Act 4, A Possible Way Out. So, Juliet has just left her father's house where he has given her the ultimatum, marry Paris or never come back. Friar Lawrence and Paris enter. On Thursday, sir. That's very soon. That's how my future father-in-law Capulet wants it, and I'm not dragging my feet. You say you don't know what the girl thinks. That's a rocky road to be riding. I don't like it. She's grieving too much over the death of Tybalt, so I haven't had the chance to talk to her about love. Romantic love doesn't happen when people are in mourning. Now, sir, her father thinks it's dangerous that she allows herself to become so sad. He's being smart by rushing our marriage to stop her from crying. She cries too much by herself. If she had someone else to be with her, she would stop crying. Now you know the reason for the rush. I wish I didn't know the reason the marriage should be slowed down. Look, sir, here comes the lady walking toward my cell. I'm happy to meet you, my lady and my wife. That might be the case, sir, after I'm married. That may be, must be, love, on Thursday. Well, what must be, will be. That is a certain truth. Have you come to make confession to this father? If I answer that question, I'd be making confession to you. Don't deny to him that you love me. I'll confess to you that I love him. You will also confess, I'm sure, that you love me. And if I do so, it will mean more if I say it behind your back than if I say it to your face. You poor soul. Your face has suffered many tears. The tears haven't done much because my face looked bad enough before I started to cry. You're treating your face even worse by saying that. What I say isn't slander, sir. It's the truth. And what I said to my face. Oh, but your face is mine, and you have slandered it. That may be the case, because my face doesn't belong to me. Which is true. She's saying my face doesn't belong to me. It belongs to Romeo. It's always throwing those little things in there that only people who know about the marriage would get. Do you have time for me now, Father? Or should I come to you at evening mass? I have time for you, my sad daughter. My lord, we must ask you to leave us alone. God forbid that I should prevent sacred devotion. Juliet, I will wake you early on Thursday. Until then, goodbye, and keep this holy kiss. Oh, shut the door, and after you shut it, come over here and weep with me. This mess is beyond hope, beyond cure, beyond help. Oh, Juliet, I already know about your sad situation. It's a problem too hard for me to solve. I hear that you must marry this count on Thursday, and that nothing can delay it. Don't tell me you've heard about this marriage, Friar, unless you can tell me how to prevent it. If you are so wise, if you who are so wise can't help, please be kind enough to call my solution wise, showing him the knife. And I'll solve the problem now with this knife. God joined my heart to Romeo's. You joined our hands. And before I, who was married to Romeo by you, am married to another man, I'll kill myself. You are wise and you have so much experience. Give me some advice about the current situation. Or watch. Caught between these two difficulties, I'll act like a judge with my bloody knife. I will truly and honorably resolve the situation that you can't fix, despite your experience and education. Don't wait long to speak. If I want to die, I want to die if what you say isn't another solution. Hold on, Todd. I see some hope. But we must act boldly because the situation is so desperate. If you've made up your mind to kill yourself, instead of marrying Count Paris, then you'll probably be willing to try something like death to solve this shameful problem. You can wrestle with death to escape from shame, and if you dare to do it, I'll give you the solution. Oh, you can tell me to jump off the battle posts of any tower or to walk down to the crime-ridden streets of a slum, or tell me to sit in a field full of poisonous snakes, chain me up with wild bears, hide me every night in a morgue full of dead bodies with wet, smelly flesh and skulls without jawbones, or tell me to climb into some freshly dug grave and hide me with a dead man in his tomb. All those ideas make me tremble when I hear them named, but I will do them without fear or dread in order to be a pure wife to my sweet love. Hold on. Go home, be cheerful, and tell them you agree to marry Paris. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Tomorrow night, make sure that you are alone. Don't let the nurse stay with you in your bedroom. And when you're in bed, take this vial, mix its contents with liquor, and drink. Then a cold, sleep-inducing drug will run through your veins, and your pulse will stop. Your flesh will be cold, and you'll stop breathing. The red in your lips and your cheeks will turn pale, and your eyes will shut. It will seem like you're dead. You won't be able to move, and your body will be stiff like a corpse. And you'll remain in this death-like state for 42 hours. And then you'll wake up as if from a pleasant sleep. Now, when the bridegroom comes to get you out of bed on Thursday morning, you'll seem dead. Then, as tradition demands, you'll be dressed up in your best clothes, put in an open coffin, and carried to the Capulet family tomb. Meanwhile, I'll send Romeo word of our plan. He'll come here, and we'll keep a watch for when you wake up. That night, Romeo will take you away to Mantua. This plan will free you from the shameful situation that troubles you now, as long as you don't change your mind, or become scared like a silly woman and ruin your brave effort. Give me the vial. Give it to me. Don't talk to me about fear. Now, go along on your way. Be strong and successful in this decision. I'll send a friar quickly to Mantua with my letter for Romeo. Love will give me strength, and strength will help me accomplish this plan. Goodbye, dear father. They exit separately. Making big moves out here to try and avoid this situation. Okay. So the last thing for today, after we have, read through all of this, is to reflect on some questions and themes from Act 3, and that are kind of like central to the whole story. So first question for you to respond to on this assignment. During the deaths of Tybalt and Mercutio, blame is spread in two places for people's misfortunes, fate and man. So Mercutio says, a curse on both your houses. He's blaming the Capulets and the Montagues. Romeo says, oh, I am fool's fate, or I am fortune's fool. So he blames fate for kind of like organizing everything to happen like this. Mercutio decides to blame people, just another way that they're foils to each other. The question is, who or what do you think is responsible for people's actions? Do you think that people's actions are predetermined by fate or by some other unforeseen force? Or do you think that we are the masters of our own decisions and all of our problems are our own? We started them. That's just what happened. What do you guys think? What determines the decisions that we make? Please respond with at least 5 complete sentences. Then, second question. In your own words, describe the escape plan that Friar Lawrence comes up with for Juliet and Romeo. And then predict something that could possibly go wrong with it. Please respond as above with at least 5 complete sentences. I hope that you guys enjoyed the reading, and this assignment will be due on Sunday night at midnight. If you have any questions, send me an email. Otherwise, have a great weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday.